Both Israelis and Palestinians deserve peace. As an international lawyer, just describe for us what you're seeing play out right now.
What I see right now, it's a catastrophe. And it can escalate. Yes, it can escalate also to a regional conflict. But for me, it's absolutely inexplicable that the international community does not call strongly for a ceasefire, because the number of civilians who have already been killed in Gaza has reached almost 10,000, and there are 2,000 people who are under the rubble. They're missing, probably dead, and 4,000 of these are children, those who have been killed. With this international community waiting, and as you probably know, together with other special rapporteurs, we have issued calls and warning about the risk of a genocide unfolding in Gaza.
We've heard accusations of war crimes on both sides. From what you're seeing, what constitutes a war crime?
A war crime is a violation of the rules of war. So killing civilians, taking civilian hostages is a war crime. So there is no question that on the 7th of October, Hamas has committed war crimes. But so has Israel, invoking a right to self-defense that it doesn't have under international law. It has the right to protect itself, to protect its citizens, but not to wage a war against the population it occupies. And it has occupied for 56 years, particularly those in Gaza who have been, as the journalist was recalling before, they've been under an illegal blockade, which is in itself a collective punishment, a war crime, since 2007. And this blockade has even been tightened since the 7th of October, with no food, no electricity, no medical and other essential supplies entering the Gaza Strip, while the civilian population was being fiercely bombed. I mean, these are war crimes and possible also crimes against humanity.
Francesca, we've seen these consistent calls for a ceasefire. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu has rejected those calls, saying now is the time for war. We have a right to self-defense. The US agrees with that, but has urged Israel to minimize civilian casualties. What other pressure can be applied to urge Israel to minimize civilian casualties here?
10,000 people killed, and the US is still calling for minimizing. I mean, how many people need to die? We are beyond what we have ever seen before in the occupied Palestinian territory. And I seriously do not, as I said, I do not understand why a ceasefire is not in place, because the only way to save, to avoid casualties as of now, on top of the 10,000 people who have already been killed, is to have a cessation of hostilities.
We know that Israel's war against Hamas is now entering its second month. Even if Israel did manage to root out all of Hamas, what comes next? What does the future look like for the people of Gaza?
The situation is much more dangerous than that, because both the intent and the reality do not speak only to an eradication of Hamas as either a military or even a political force. What's going on, it's much worse, because it seems to deliberately create the conditions for the people in Gaza not to be able to live in Gaza anymore. 50% of the civilian infrastructure has been either destroyed or severely damaged. Hospitals have been bombed, and so schools. And there is an evacuation order from an increasing percentage of the surface of Gaza, which is pushing the population further south. So there is a declared intent to push the Palestinians from Gaza outside of the Gaza Strip. So this is why I'm saying we are beyond a military goal, beyond a military operation that wants to eradicate Hamas.
Francesca Albanese, really good to get your perspective. We appreciate your time, the Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in the occupied Palestinian territories. Thank you.